Morning, Faith Community Church. Another morning of devotions. I hope you've woken up this morning, refreshed and ready to serve the Lord once again. I want to be in the book of Lamentations. When's the last time you've done devotions out of Lamentations? But it just really struck me with the craziness of this world right now, with another round of protests going on in Kenosha, and the difficulties that are going to come through all of that. I just want to take some time and be in Lamentations. So I want to give you a little bit of background on Lamentations. You have the prophet Jeremiah. He's known as the weeping prophet. And why was he known as the weeping prophet? Because he cried a lot. It was a horrible time for him to be a prophet. He kept going to the kings. He kept pleading with them. They kept rejecting him. And the Lord asked him to do some really crazy, weird things. But just historically, you have in 722, Assyria comes through and they destroy the northern kingdom. The southern kingdom now, really two tribes, Judah and Benjamin. Benjamin kind of gets assimilated in. And you have then in 586 BC, the Babylonians come through. And they take Jerusalem, they destroy it. And that is really when this whole time is being written, when Jeremiah writes the book of Lamentations, which is his really beautiful poem, essentially. There are 5 chapters in the book of Lamentations. The first 4 chapters are an acrostic, so it takes a Hebrew alphabet and it just walks through every chapter, the entire Hebrew alphabet, and it is a beautiful way in Hebrew poetry that they go about doing things. In Hebrew poetry, things don't necessarily rhyme. They're more done out of similar themes or an acrostic with all the letters of the Hebrew alphabet and the whatnot. But chapter 1 is the lament over Jerusalem. Chapter 2, the judgment on Jerusalem. Chapter 3, the hope through God's mercy. Chapter 4, the terrors of the besieged Jerusalem. And then chapter 5 breaks away from the acrostic, and it's the prayer for the restoration of Jerusalem. And the verse I wanted to stick on this morning is in chapter 3, the middle section, and it says this: "Because of the Lord's faithful love, we do not perish, for his mercies never end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. I say, the Lord is my portion, therefore I will put my hope in him." And a wonderful hymn, "Great is thy faithfulness," really comes from this passage. And when things are falling apart in your world, when cities are being burned, when the things that you love seem to be ripped from your grasp, when things seem to be completely out of control and you have no way to hold on to the sand as you just grasp for it and it just slips on through. Jeremiah, who was in this situation way worse than we are today, he was able to stop, and he was able to think, and he was able to praise the Lord and say, "Great is your faithfulness." The Lord doesn't have destruction in the plan of the Christian. Destruction might come, difficulties might come, struggles might come, but the ultimate purpose for all of the things that enter into your life is for his good, your good, and his glory. We see that in Romans, that God works all things together for those who love him and been called according to his purpose. We have this great, awesome, wonderful promise that if God is for us, who can be against us? He did not spare his own son. How will he not much more give us all things that we need? And so I just pray for you this morning that you would, in the midst of chaos, in the midst of struggle, in the midst of dirty diapers or lost job or the mundaneness of homeschooling, the difficulties that come through that, or the new homeschooling as everybody's sent home and having to do everything online, things can get crazy. They can get out of control. It can seem like things are wildly out of control. Stop for a second. Remember that God's in control. Remember that in the midst of that chaos, he has a plan for you. Remember that God is great. Let me just read this passage again in ending. "Because of the Lord's faithful love, we do not perish, for his mercies never end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness." Welcome to a new day. His faithful love is new this morning. Great is his faithfulness. Enjoy the mercies that he has for you today. and go after loving and serving and giving your whole self to him. Pray for your day today. May it be one filled with his faithful love. God bless.